Good morning, folks. It's 8:27 a.m. over here in Liverpool, England, on the third month, fifth day, 2025. Right, worst case scenario is coming to you now, and likeliness of it is high. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you. Right, this is a reformed eye right off the coast of your country here. And this tendril here is packing a wallop in the initial 48 hours. There's an area over here I'm expecting in excess of 600 mils just in this 48-hour period that's going to come uh, starting on maybe about here. Remember, all my times are in UTC. Okay, so if you look up universal time, you'll see what the times are. And all my data is given to you maritime. I use Saffir-Simpson scales and this and that. And at some point in time, I'll learn to downgrade things wind-wise to make life sound worse, because that's what I think that's about. So I apologize if there was any miscommunications about that. It's just I was wrong and did not know something. And that's what I have to say about that. Okay, so here we go. And Saffir-Simpson scale-wise, right now, it's got you listed as, you see this here? Right, this is listed as a tropical storm. Right, it's not even, the rest of the world is looking at you and saying, why are you panicking? And it's a tropical storm. But tropical storms can be very, very, very dangerous, right? They pack a lot of water, sudden winds, and this and that. And the highest winds I could find in the storm now, currently, there was about 48 nets a little bit ago. So in there, at least I see two of them confirming that. And that makes that a solid tropical storm, not to be taken lightly. And it's very possible this will go to a Cat 1 hurricane, as I will call it, before it hits shore, when it organizes like this. Yep. So we're going to go through the worst case scenarios. And I say possible because beams up the coast are going to decide the shape of that eye. That's anybody who says different is just not bringing the EMF into the equation. Even right here, I see something. So I'm going to try to stop my screen on this one image. Even here, I see a beam that was shooting down. See if we can get that to go back a couple frames. And I zoomed in. And so as I zoom in areas, I can see the flow boundaries. They always tell me. That's why I say sometimes till it gets near shore, you can't tell me. You can tell me general areas, and I'll show you how I do that too. As you can see how the condensates form in a plasma, right? In a plasma. But you can see a line here, right? That's easy to see. See it in the condensates here? There's lots of beaming swaths, as they're called. Lots of heated lines. Lots of heated lines. Lots of heated lines. And when you put them all together, you go, what's left open? Right? What's open? And then I look through here, and I'm going to do this again. I'm going to take some of that out. I have to calculate this one. That's the plasma line. That's the one where the cloud condensates really do a lot of changing. So I remember what that other one was. Well, I remember what this one is, right? Because otherwise I'm going to have Mr. Squiggles all over the screen because of the amount of radars that are reacting to this storm right now. Brisbane over here has shut here. It's shut here, straight up. There's another one over here, and it's shut straight like this, and it pinned it. So when it comes in, it's going to do an up and around. There's nowhere for it to go, and it has to come up and around and down and out. And so it's going to be back tendril in you guys. It's going to head a lot of moisture towards that barrier over there where Sydney is and all that down there. So this is going to be one very wet week. This is going to be one memorable storm. And this is not very round in the center, just from this image here. Right, look at this. Something has deployed something from that spot. And I'll take Mr. Squiggles off and let you see it again. Something is, this is a geostorm. There's a lot of geoengineering in here. Look at this manipulation here to hold the condensates up, release that mass over the top of that as it's wanted. And if I take some of the lines off again, you'll see this big chem bomb right here. There's so much manipulation going on. It's the only thing sustaining it. It almost looks like a rabbit. It's the wascally wabbit of the geoengineering chemtrail rabbit hole. Here he is. Here's the rabbit. What's up, Doc? What's up, Klaus? Klaus? Yeah, Klaus is coming for your house. Big haze here. See these lines? These are the force to flow in certain areas. So when it comes in, it has to come here and around. It has to. Has to come in here and around. Has to. Ain't no other way that moisture's going to go. And since it's rotating this direction, right, that comes like that. There's nowhere else for it to go. And it's got its own moisture. So you're going to get quite a blend back here. Different winds and everything. So I'm very concerned for that particular area. As the dynamics of... If this is Brisbane, right? It's coming in like this. It does a spit as it's hitting an EMF wall. So a bunch of moisture goes in there. And it's rotating like this. And so this comes in this direction. Right? When it comes in. The dynamics of the eye along the coastline. This is a deadly situation developing over here. Yeah, it was Mr. Squiggles showing it. God, loving this surfing. Thank you guys. You're really entertaining me. You got two guys named Alfred. Have a name like Alfred. Alfie, the three Alfies were surfing Alfie. Loving it. And this one shot I had, put a screenshot of it up. Oh, loving it. Yeah, I have the balls to do this, and you got the balls to do that. Let's be fair. It's balls. We're both just crazy. Yeah, thanks. Fuck it, that's talent. Loving it. I bet the flights were packed, the surfboards. You don't have much luggage when you have a surfboard. What a wobble this thing has to it. It's being held until they take this line in front away. She can't really steam. I've watched it move to about 80 miles. Right, if I do a mark here, and I'll put my finger on the screen to do this. Right, the center is right here, okay? You know, as I run this, you'll watch it'll go to about there. Oh, ain't saving no images. So it's actually moved about, it's about 80 nautical miles since yesterday. And the center currently is that mess of crap, but the center's right here, is where the lowest pressure is being picked up. And if it perks here, you're a lot more fucked, I have to say, than if she comes right in. If it sits there, it's going to pump a lot of moisture. But as everything is looking, the flow lines show it going in. I also saw a very interesting chemtrail on the southern edge down here. Look at the angle that's coming in. And that shows you that EMF has created a wall on that layer of the atmosphere. It's got a roll cloud going at the end of it. So they've actually produced a morning glory in the middle of the afternoon over the ocean. And that's making a morning glory. I've seen it many times. Yep, they're giving you the morning glory. Look at all these condensates down here. They line up in a square. See that? That's radars from Sydney doing that in combination with one right here. What's that town? He's frying your ass right over here in your scone. Bzzzt. Yeah, these are making the paths that the storm will want to stay within and to actually bring the water back to you and then reform it out to sea here. And there's a possibility of it reforming here and scaring the shit out of New Zealand. I don't see how it can make it to you, but I can see how half its water can. Yeah, so I gotta watch for that now. There's always just something. Oh, look at these big puffs of crap coming here over high. They're farting it up over down there in New Caledonia, ain't they? This is Vanuatu, and this is Fiji over here, in case you're not familiar. Look at all the chemtrails here going over Labasa. The bastards of Labasa have released their load. Pilot to Kim Bombardier, pilot to Kim Bombardier. We need some toxic air over here and over there. Why? Because it's the cold and the planes have flown season. Right, so let's look at some more data for you guys. This is what you're really wanting to see. Okay, so let's just go right to it. Wind-wise, like I said, the possibilities of 70-mile-an-hour winds are there. The likelihood of it, if it pans out like this, is yes. And so watch yourself on them shores. And even when you got 50-mile-an-hour winds, it's nothing you're going to play around in. It ain't. That's just basically here's a 24-hour total starting on the main time Thursdays. I've been having a look. I'm going to do this in 24s. All right? It's your 12 noon tomorrow till the 12 noon on the next day. What is this? You want to see the horrible? I said worst case. And with the path they've drawn behind there with the EMF and whatever, somebody decided up here ain't getting no storm and they shoved it behind the mountains. Look at this sweat. Yeah, it's got to come in and stop. Hits that barrier and heads south. A lot of water is going to spit inland here, right? A lot of water coming inland. And yeah, Goldie, yeah, not looking good. And it's a rainy week after that, right? You get regular rain on top of this because you're going to watch this total go up. It's too low. This is way too low. Yeah, I'm seeing 600 mils through here. Easily, easily. One of my calculations on the thing that they took the data down about a half an hour ago was showing much worse. They were actually being honest. That seems most likely, totals-wise. You can't even see where Goldie is here, where all this beautiful beach, all this great surfing's going on right here, right down in here, man, fingering all this. Oh, my God. Right here is where I'd want to be. This is that Cara Beach, by the way. Yeah, this is one of my spots. I like to sat up here. This is where Rob D sits some energy, and this is where you go sit. Right here over in Ruffton Park. Right there, the state line. Yeah, we're stupid COVID shit. I ain't kidding, man. The news is winding this thing up like it's COVID. What are they going to sell? Some kind of vaccine for the sky after this? You see what I'm saying? Where I'm seeing these totals of a meter down here? That's why you be very careful on these waves. The wind and the water and everything will knock you right off, and you could die out there, right? Or you're being doing something stupid and you're bored, kill somebody else, you don't do it. It ain't called point danger for nothing, all right? But boy, are you going to get some great swells. The best swells are coming on Friday down here, on Thursdays up where I just showed you. Yeah, this is a bad situation on the 10s for you guys, and if you want to take it lightly, do. You want to debate things, go ahead. This is what I have to say about this. And it's a sweat of disaster. That's disastrous. This is disastrous. That's disastrous. And what's flowing here is coming over there, and this is a devastating event, not to be taken lightly. And I'll give you a who's fucked show tomorrow, because that storm's got about another 60 miles to move before it gets interesting. See? Back half, front half. Let's split this in half. This is just what they say. I calculate tendrils of water, and there's a fuck all lot of it out there, and I'm going to show you some more images of it. And that's just like from Saturday through, which would be, this would be like almost near midnight your time. Let's make it something that you can handle. That's just from Friday through Monday. Okay? It's going to be a lot to handle. It's going to be a long, sustained rain event and a very wide eye. That is very wide. So the area of influence is huge, and every time that thing oscillates or squeezes one way or another, it slings water with it in the direction of which it's flowing. Like if this line here was to move that way, it sling water down here, and that's what's happening in that motion there. As this tries to stay round, centripetal force tends to like sphericity. I didn't say centrifugal, I said centripetal. Oh, look what the difference is. Yeah, physics. I fucking God, this is bad. So I can, I'll show you some forecastations part of this, but like I just said, it's not looking good. You're gonna be careful. It's like the suerte de muerte when the big tendril comes ashore, but if you could, I won't call that no eye, unless somebody poked its eye out. It looks like somebody leaning over mooning with their hands on the ground. It does. I could draw Mr. Bum on there. Mr. Bum Man swelling the streams. And I'll show you some live motion shots of the storm and all the things you just like to hear and see. You don't get on the news, like things about the cam, show you the EMF. If you want official excuses about a glitch, you go listen to the nose. And I'll show you where the glitch affects cloud dynamics. So tell me if that a glitch or is it a weather machine? See how they shot it back here in these towns? So we're going to have to watch these falls. These are the flash flooders, right? It's like, that's over 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters every hour. Okay, they say even 15 minutes of that's enough to make your tires float across a bridge. And you don't want to be camping in some of these areas. You can just sit tight, man. Just sit tight. It's my advice, man. Don't risk health workers. There's no place you need to go that fucking bad between here and there. Who says no rain at all? Don't you love it when they do that? Now that's a particular day. That's not your accumulation. Now wind-wise is important, and then for my surfing friends, I'm gonna go on out there and show you where it's gonna be such a swell day, right? This is your winds, and the highest ones I can even pick up right now is matching what Mimic is showing, and I went hunting for it. Right? Where's the biggest thing I could find? And it's matching. All right, it's matching it. So it's still a tropical storm. As we heading in toward Fridays, when we should start seeing our heaviest winds, it's just before it came ashore. And the only one that's showing it, as this one, is showing that close to hurricane strength. So be prepared for that. But in general, I don't see how. There's too much EMF on the shoreline. That'll be a blip right there. Of very fast winds as it spits off. So be prepared for that. There you go. That's what I was seeing. Yeah, there's a time in this storm coming just before she comes ashore where I am expecting hurricane strength winds. And if I was looking at a hurricane scale right now, I call that a solid Cat 2 hurricane coming in at 95 miles an hour. And you'd probably call that a Category 5, and the whole world thinks you had a Category 5, but you didn't. And that would have a fair storm surge, but because it's so wide, this eye, it's not going to pull the hugest bubbles up. So let's have a good look at the waves. Yeah, the wind inland actually is not very pleasant to have to show. Coming Friday. You have to be watching. Just watch yourself. I don't know anything else to tell you other than watch yourself. I don't know where everybody is. Waves, man. All right, now here's where you want to be. Yeah, look at this. Look at the whole coast here. Pick a spot. Just pick a spot. But the best day is coming tomorrow. It's coming in the afternoon. And it was right down here in Byron. Right fucking down here. Because look at the swells. There we go. It's more likely. Yeah, look at that's where you're going to go from Tweeds. And you're going to get in a van. You're going to come down here toward Byron Bay. And you're going to come right over here. Or you're going to get out to Hastings Point. It'll probably be one of your closest ones, but you get on over here and look at this. Watch this. Yeah, surfers, here you go. So you know where to station yourself. But man, watch it out there. Only the best is allowed, because these wind gusts, you see that? You get gusts, full-on winds, 30 miles an hour up into the 40s, gusts over 50 and 60, right? But when you get in there, when you add these swells, to that, which I showed you a minute ago, and we were talking 12-meter waves, and some of these sets are going to be fucking massive along here. And from the direction the storm is flowing, it's going to be an echo back and forth in here, so you're going to get some side waves. Yeah, but still, along this coast here, ain't not too shabby at all, is it? Not too shabby. Add those two together, you got 10. But come on down here, you get the and then later this week you get to go on down towards Bondi Pipeline. I'm telling you, this is like the surfers' dream weekend in Australia coming up. And if we can concentrate on some fun, that'd be great. 9 o'clock tonight, Australia time, which is in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. A lot of praying and meditating people are going to sit calmly and meditate and concentrate on dissipating the storm damage and seeing if we can't pray this away. Because, we're helping ourselves. I hear that sometimes you get help from other sources when you do that. So now your satellite image, and here she comes. And I don't even check to see if this is running. You could have shut me off an hour ago and not known. The visible was very interesting earlier, but your sun's going down. But I do have a few minutes of it, where you can come in and you can see some of the definition better in the clouds when you see that. You see all these streaks? That's chem plumes. Look at this deployment right here. See that? It's kind of obvious. There's the center of it's right here, right? Well, they shot something out. It's affected the cloud dynamics there. Would you agree? And when we look in the eye, it gets harder to see when the sun goes down, don't it? Very CGI'd. Yep. But you see that chem bomb formation? You see that triangle right there? Or the radiation looking symbol? I didn't intend it to focus in that far. Like that. Come on, man. That's chemtrails. That's cloud creation. That's not just seeding. So this is geoengineering. Geoengineering is a vast topic. And when you go to have an investigation into what the fuck, you be sure and ask about geoengineering, not cloud seeding, because this is above the altitude at which those little planes fly. Okay? You ever been up in a jet plane at 40,000 feet and look above your head and see a bunch of crap that looks like you've been sprayed like bugs? Well, your plane didn't do that. It don't fly up there. And a lot of this is even above that which a Learjet can fly. So we got to think a little differently about these weather balloons and stuff that are up in the sky these days, I think. Yeah. Because it does say in the Paris Agreement you can use balloons to deploy chemical catalysts in the sky. And I can show you that right now if you want. It's an easy thing to get. Part of the Paris Agreement is this document here. And I'll show you a copy of it. This is the Center for International Governance and Innovation. But this CIGI doesn't just do this document. They're very well known for having great integrity in their documents. So I can use this as a source for the Machiavellian community. If I go over here to page 13, look. I'll give you SRM, solar radiation management, tries to reflect sunlight into space. So y'all remember The Simpsons? They had a guy named Mr. Burns wanted to block the sun. And look at this guy. What's his name? William C.G. Burns. Excellent. Excellent. So if I go over here, and it's page 13, because they must have added something to this. And I look over here, right? I'm gonna notice you something. You'll see this. Potential delivery vehicles for stratospheric sulfur dioxide injection. They're not talking silver iodide here. Aircraft, artillery shells, stratospheric balloons, see, stratospheric balloons and hoses suspended from towers. And you'll see this little number 59. Right, so I go down there, I say, what does 59 mean? Benefits and risks of stratospheric geoengineering. And this caught my eye when I was searching down here. Another one of their footnotes, as they're known, says this. There have been suggestions of injecting preformed particles. Remember we say nanoparticles, chemical catalysts of other chemicals. So we call it a chemical trail. We're 100% correct. And this is the U.S. House Committee on Science and Technology, Geoengineering, Scientific Basis, and Geoengineering Challenges. The meeting was held actually in December of 2010 before they broke up for the Christmas break of 2009, I mean, and this was published February 4th of 2010. Did you see that right there? What's this? This isn't silver iodide. What word is that? Does that say titanium oxide? At what point is that silver iodide? So yeah, this is a very interesting to see. And so I know this is litigated and I know it's real and it's undeniable. And if you support the Paris Agreement, you support that. Okay, you support that. So back to you, Mr. Alfie. What's it all about, Alfie? Are they beaming you just so you lived? Chem bombed all about fucking up your life, Alfie. Look at this crap. Look at this haze come down toward the storm. That's microwaves from Brisbane, right? They're blasting. I imagine you don't get too much of a view of much of nothing. And when you turn on this, they look like an assembly of Legos that the Bureau of Morons puts out for you. This is about the best I can zoom. See that corridor shut off there? Ain't going no further up than that. There's another corridor shut off right here. Who's this? That's Gimpy. I knew you would be guilty, Gimpy. Let's see if we can bust him. It's just hard to determine much with these radars, ain't it? Because your pixels are so low. But yet, if I go to Next Lab USA, I can pull a real image of. I'm going to bust them balls with a Doppler. See the beam here? Look, they're blasted. Bzzz. So look at the change in the wind directions. See? Oh, they're beaming like fuck, man. You can't tell me no otherwise. So Gimpy has caused that corridor of flow that they'll call a glitch. Bullshit. Now let's see about this glitch. Let's see what we see here in this image. Yeah, I'm going to do this my way. I'll do it my way. Okay, Gimpy. Oh, look at this line here. Look, I'm going to take these lines off in a moment. Or you go ahead and do this image yourself. It affected the clouds. It has affected the clouds. Right here. Bzzz. Guilty, Gimpy. Guilty, 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 guilty. And just from looking at a cloud image and then go with looking at that, you can see this shit. It's easy to prove. It's called geoengineering. How do you reproduce natural weather with man-made ways, like making the morning glory out here at sea that I showed you? Oh, right, I showed you where it's going yet, am I? Because I'm getting really TO'd. No, I haven't. All right, rain and thunder and all that's rumbling. And worst case scenario, here she comes. This one dumps the most water. Whammo. Back to here she is. Alfred is on the corner. He's coming in. He's knocking at your door. Yep, and the system's busted your balls. EMF knocking at your door. This shit is just sucks, don't it? I gotta keep my vibe high. Who in the fuck said 5 meters of water? They even said 5,000 millimeters. There was no way I read this one before I left this group that evidently likes to wind people up. Or allows it to occur. I'm looking for a cigarette. I need one. I have a need. So watch this for a moment while I find a fag. Fucking sucks, man. I can't stand disinformation, and even if I make a mistake, which happens, I will tell you I did. And apologize for any misinterpretations of the difference between the scale for cyclones and hurricanes is such that the world uses and the one that 2 countries use. And I guess they're the ones that sell climate chaos. They're probably even funding the war in Ukraine, you know. Let that guy have some tanks. No more, no more. Are we paying for the war? Here's what we should all learn to say. That's right. No more, no more. Well, we pay for that war. Bill Gates digging his pocket. You don't think they don't loan to both sides of that fucking war to get money? Bankers? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You see the die-in line over there, Clown Town? Little tendril on the back door up there, Harvey Bay, coming in and she's going to hook around. Coming around, coming around. Boy, it's about time we give some come around to all that go around that's going around. Yep, and then she has to track down because they done sealed its fate. It is its destiny. And that's many days from now. And so we'll know a lot more then. All I know is you're going to have to batten down the hatches. I'll keep your updates coming. And we'll sit tight, please. Sit tight. It's going to get rough through here. Really, really rough. Okay? Rough, rough, rough. It's time for the big dogs to leave the porch. Yep. They're coming for your homes. They even say so with our oppressors at their cop meetings and such. They talk about how can they do it. My God, Goldie. Stay safe. You don't need that much toilet paper, do you? My God, you'd think COVID was coming to town. Sheesh. Okay, that's what Alfie's all about. Big love, stay safe, peace.